into the case involving two former Petrojam executives who were accused of defrauding the state-owned petroleum company Petrojam. As senior parish judge Maxine Ellis found former general manager Floyd Grindley and former board chairman Dr. Percival Bahadur Singh not guilty on all counts. Joel Croskill provides the details.
Attorney at law Bert Samuels, who represented Dr. Bahadur Singh, expressed satisfaction with the not guilty ruling in a trial that began in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court in May 2022 and captured widespread public attention.
The team consisting of K.D. Knight, myself, Mr. Matthew Hyatt, and Sophia Samuels, my daughter, are elated, but even more elated are the accused men who have voluntarily flown back to Jamaica to be charged and have been vindicated. So it's a day of victory, it's a day of celebration. It's my 45th year as an attorney, and it's my last case in the courtroom. As you know, I've retired from the courtroom. Today is my last day in the courtroom. And to leave with a victory as enormous as this is, I can't tell you what it is. It's too emotional.
The two former Petrojam executives had been charged with defrauding the state-owned petroleum company of more than $10 million and faced 14 charges, including conspiracy to defraud, fraudulent conversion, aiding and abetting fraudulent conversion, and obtaining valuable security by false pretense, contrary to the provision of the Larceny Act. Scrutiny of the case was in large part spurred by the former executive's appearance before the Parliament's Public Administration and Appropriations Committee PAAC in 2018, where the matter first came to public attention. Mr. Samuel suggests the pursuit of the former executives was in part politically motivated. The veteran attorney also shared what he described as some of the horrible features of the case, including the conduct of the prosecution.
I think I'm at the stage and the position at the bar to make these comments. It has alarmed me that a prosecutor could come to a case like this and, having read our no case submission, which was in writing, went away and adjusted the indictment to counteract our points made in the no case submission. That is unheard of. That is like in a domino game, looking over the shoulders of your opponent and adjusting your game accordingly. And I take umbrage from that. I'm really disappointed with the conduct of the prosecution in this case.
Samuels also indicated additional legal recourse on the part of his client may also become a consideration.
Dr. Singh was made to pay back over $10,000 for a surprise birthday party for him, a party he knew nothing about. And the persecution caused him to be asked to pay back these monies. Secondly, all the board meetings where he traveled from the U.S. to come to and chair those meetings in a record-breaking income time for Petrojam, he has had to pay back for everything. They demanded that. The Integrity Commission held him responsible to pay it back, and he did so. So you imagine that there is a huge claim now that can be made by him, not only for the refund of his money, but also the restitution of his character.
Joel Croskill, CVM News.
A huge sum of money to pay back. A huge sum of money for the restitution of his character. My peeps, that is why when you hear something, we only have to listen to it with one ears. Always have an open mind and wait until the verdict is in. Because there is no guarantee, because you hear a whole heap of noise in the media. I hear the politicians make a whole heap of sayings, right? And then when it comes to the test, them have no evidence to back up them claims. And now who must foot that bill? Peter Bunting? The Integrity Commission? No. Are we? Money, we have to go pay him to restore back him character that should be out there, buy equipment for hospital. A fix road. And I do all sorts of things to make the life better. We have to go pay for restitute for him character. My peeps, how are you doing today? Welcome to Jamaica 411. Thank you so much for joining me, keeping me company as usual. If you're here with me for the first time, welcome, welcome. Please remember to subscribe. Give the video a thumbs up, share, and feel free to leave your comments in the comments section. And there's something else I'd like you all to do for me as well. Hit that notification bell, because I see that many persons are joining, but it's not through notification. So it would be helpful if you were to hit that notification bell, okay? To my many subscribers, welcome back. Always lovely to have you. I want special greetings for you. Ever notice? The bias. The bias, I'm not going to apologize for it, yes. So welcome back, and thank you so much for always sharing this channel and spreading the word. Me here 411, you might call out about the place. I mean, wow, not do it, you know. Yes, man. I mean, thank you very much. And of course, you know, you're going to give the video a thumbs up from now, share, and then you return so that we can get down to business. Yes, and of course, just in case you think my mother will never grow me good, my mother grow me good, I want to thank you very much in advance. Wonderful. So now that you're all back with me, let us now get down to business. Right, so this thing now with Floyd Grindley and the other gentleman, Dr. Percival Bahadur Singh, who worked with the Petrojam. You remember that Petrojam drama? Petrojam always seemed to be in drama, not true? True. Well, charges were brought against Bahadur Singh, who was the chairman of Petrojam at the time. 12 counts of obtaining money by false pretense. Now, my peeps, you don't need to behave yourself. You know. What do I mean by say the Englishman for get charged for collecting money under false pretense too? You don't to behave, man. Sure. Yes, and probably somebody should probably consider that. Mocha should probably consider a charge for him in our parliament illegally. 31 million in salary, or a 25. How it go? 25 plus perks for sit down in a parliament illegally. And them tell people say them for obey rules. Well, I suppose I will say the police is there for them. Anyhow, let me continue. So I am going to read for you now what transpired. Let me see the date. It was March 9, 2021. I'll just read this briefly to give us a little reminder as to what happened and why it is that Bert Samuel said it was political meddling, why his client was charged, and not because there was evidence to charge him of anything. So let's take a read. Now, the headline said Bunting welcomes criminal charges against former Petrojam chairman. Dated again March 9, 2021. Opposition spokesman on national security, Senator Peter Bunting, has said the arrest and charge of former chairman of Petrojam, Dr. Percival Bahadur Singh, on 12 counts of obtaining money by false pretense would serve as an important deterrent to persons inclined towards corruption within the public sector. Man, what a champion talking about corruption, eh? Bunting issued a statement on Monday, shortly after Bahadur Singh was arrested and charged by detectives from the Major Organized Crime and Anti-Corruption Agency, MOCA. It is alleged that between December 2016 and May 2018, Bahadur Singh fraudulently claimed reimbursements and was paid monies by Petrojam, the state-owned oil refinery, for overseas business trips that he did not take. And just as a reminder, my peeps, remember the court freed the men of all charges. So this allegation that he had collected money under false pretense, fraudulently claimed reimbursements for business trips that he did not take, the judge found that that was not true. Either Bahadur Singh was able to produce evidence that he did take the trips, or the prosecution failed to show evidence that he did not take those trips. One or the other occurred, and the judge freed him of all 12 charges. So let us continue. They went on to say, MOCA said the fraudulent claims over the period amounted to $73,620. Mocha informed that it conducted a thorough, multi-jurisdictional investigation into the allegations, prepared and submitted a file to the Director of Public Prosecutions, who ruled that criminal charges be filed against the former chairman. Now, this was done in 2021. Who was the Director of Public Prosecutions then? Paula Llewellyn. And you recall the date of the alleged fraud committed by Bahadur Singh between December 2016 and May 2018? Who was in power at the time? Yes, it's the Labour Party, right? And you will hear those risers who pretending to be PNP, claiming that then Paula Llewellyn must go. Paula Llewellyn must go. And that Andrew wants her there so that she can free Roel Reid and free all of those persons that were charged for fraud during his administration. The funny thing about it is that it was Paula Llewellyn who, looking at the evidence before her, determined and ruled that criminal charges should be laid against the former chairman. So apparently she don't have nothing to do. She decided she going to lay charges and then she went through the case. That makes sense, my peeps? So them not making any sense, right? They must have them reason why them don't want Paula Llewellyn to be there. You agree with me, my peeps? I mean, I know the reason why, I know. But soon and very soon, them will soon bust out because they don't know if you keep them out. So then time, man, them the risers there. Shut out them business like somebody give them the chicken rear-end for eat. Anyhow, make we continue. The agency also disclosed that Bahadur Singh was interviewed in the presence of his attorney and was subsequently arrested and charged. He was later offered bail and is to appear in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court on Wednesday, March 17. Mocha has advised that its investigation is continuing with a view of conducting other interviews shortly. Bunting, in his statement, said some of the claims that were made by Bahadur Singh were exposed in parliamentary contributions by the opposition People's National Party at the time. Yes, so this is why now Bert Samuels said that it was politically motivated, right? The opposition PNP exposed what they thought was fraud, and then when it put to the test, which is where you must come now and put up or shut up before the parish court judge, right? And the evidence that they thought they had was weak. And you might say, okay, Paula Llewellyn carried the case. That is true. But Paula Llewellyn is a prosecutor and she takes the case from the police who is charged by the Constitution to investigate, and it's a prosecutor, the DPP, that is charged with the responsibility by the Constitution to take the matter to court and prosecute. So everything depends on the quality of the evidence that the police can provide. And evidently, the evidence was not what it was, well, stacked up to be. So they lost the case, the men are free. And Mr. Bunting ends with egg on his face, right? That's why you must shut your mouth when these things happen. It is out there, it's on the news, let the people have their own opinion. But when you go and come talk about you welcome the charges, as if to say, because the men are charged or because you found something in the PAAC, you just assume that somehow they are guilty. Well, you have to be able to prove a man's guilt. And evidently it didn't work out this time around. Anyway, Mr. Bunting had more to say, so let us post hear what else he had to say. So, Loop News quoted Mr. Bunting as saying, the public should recall the scandalous corruption and waste of taxpayers' funds exposed via a comprehensive audit of Petrojam by the Auditor General's Department in 2018 and which was further amplified in the 2019 hearings on the report by the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament. Oh, so it's only the PAC, said Bunting. He further said that, notwithstanding the catalogue of waste and abuse identified in that report, this is the first case of criminal charges being laid in the sordid affair. End of quote. He congratulated MOCA for what he described as its tenacity and thoroughness in conducting a multi-jurisdictional investigation into the allegations, which resulted in criminal charges being filed. That was Mr. Bunting congratulating MOCA. So let us now move into the present. We are now looking at December 11, 2024. That will be the day after the men were freed. That's when the announcement came. And this now is the Observer. It says, former Petrojam general manager, chairman freed of fraud. And of course, we're going to read it quickly to see if the Observer may have some news for us since they took a day to report. The Observer said former Petrojam general manager Floyd Grindley and chairman of the board of state-run oil refinery Percival Singh, that should read Badahu Singh, were both freed of fraud charges in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court on Tuesday, bringing to an end a trial that had been ongoing since 2022. Bahadur Singh was accused of claiming 4 overseas trips and meetings he did not undertake, while Grindley allegedly aided and abetted Singh. The claims, which amounted to more than $73,000 US, were made between December 2016 and May 2018. Veteran attorney K.D. Knight, King's Counsel, who represented Grindley, told the Jamaica Observer that the case was not founded on a political charge, as was believed by most Jamaicans, but was about, and they're quoting him now, failings in an institution, referring to Petrojam, and these failings took place because the institution did not behave as it ought to have done through its agents who were employees of the institution. Knight said that trial Judge Justice Maxine Ellis gave a very thorough and lengthy presentation as to how she arrived at her decision. And they are quoting KD now. She was very analytical and followed the law to the T. What she said was that the evidence that was adduced did not show that there was any conspiracy between the general manager and the chairman of the board to misappropriate funds of Petrojam, nor did it show that there was any agreement, neither singularly nor between the two accused, to induce the employees of Petrojam to carry out any criminal act. Knight told the Observer. So you understand what KD said? Long and short of it, the judge said that she don't have no evidence before her to show that the two men conspired. If you're going to charge people for conspiracy, you are going to have to show the evidence of that conspiracy. And evidently they were not able to, is what KD is saying. If one of the charges laid was conspiracy, then it appears as though that charge failed in the court. They failed to show evidence that there was conspiracy to commit a criminal act. Still quoting from what KD said, he said the atmosphere at Petrojam was such that where the system provided that it should correct any error made at any stage during the process of expending Petrojam's money, that the system broke down and the persons who, along the chain, had responsibilities did not carry them out effectively. KD seemed to be suggesting that there were other people at Petrojam who is to be blamed for the situation that occurred, for failing to doing their or carrying out their duties properly. What was clear was that there was no dishonest intent between the two senior persons in the corporation. Speaking now of Grindley and Badahu Singh. Her analysis of the evidence pointed out that persons who had particular responsibilities did not effectively carry out those responsibilities, and had they, then some of the errors would not have occurred. Knight said the staff at Petrojam did not know the relevant rules and regulations. From the very outset, this was a point being made by the defense, and the cross-examination showed that Petrojam suffered from a lack of leadership before Mr. Grindley became general manager and Dr. Singh became chairman of the board. It was evident that there were senior officers who were not aware of their responsibilities, he said. So what KD is saying is that there are issues at Petrojam to do with people not knowing the rules and regulations that governs that body. And the issues that were plaguing Petrojam, or still plaguing Petrojam up to the time when those men were there, they inherited it. It's the same problem that was there before. That is basically what they are saying. And they were able to argue that successfully to the court's satisfaction, and the judge made a ruling. But let us continue reading what it was that the observer had to say. Singh was represented by attorneys Bert Samuels and Matthew Hyde, while Grindley was represented by Knight and Bianca Samuels. And that, my peeps, was that. So, based upon what KD is saying there, he's saying that it's not political, basically. He's saying that they failed to bring the evidence to show conspiracy between the two men, right? Instead, what he was able to successfully done was to show the court that it was some kind of a mix-up that was going on in Petrojam. The people there who were carrying out their functions don't know and understand what the regulations are, so they made a mistake, and that the problems that were plaguing Petrojam were inherited by these men. It was going on from before that. So once them can show the court, that what happened to them, whatever it was, because he never said what it was he was talking about. I suppose it's the payment of this money. But whatever it is, he is saying that it happened before these men got there. So once he could successfully show that here are evidence, judge, that and to them thing that go on. Once they could show that, then the argument done. Because then now, how you're going to sustain the argument that they conspired to defraud Petrojam when it was a mistake that they've been doing over and over again in the past before them come. I imagine that was the argument they put. As I said, the observer wasn't very clear, but at least it's the only place I was able to get some information for you. So the case blew up and they are free. Judge found them guilty of nothing and all counts. And you will recall that Badahu Singh actually had 12 charges laid against him, and all of them was flung out by the parish court. So that was that. Well, my peeps, so far things are not shaping up so nicely for those two capitalists that captured the PNP, Bunting and Golding. Not shaping up nicely at all. Christmas not looking good for them. First of all, there was a report that went to the house from the IC to be tabled into Estate Bridge, and what the IC said was breaches of the Building Act. They had a report that Andrew Holness was building on a property somewhere that belonged to him, either in Beverly Hills or in Cherry Gardens, and that he was breaching the Building Act. That's the long and short of it, right? Him instruct the architects not to abide by the building permit, but to build according to another plan that he had drawn up. He had the architect drawn up. That was the accusation. So, of course, when the IC hear Andrew name for them king catch a fire, man, them bolt. Move from complaint during the day, and it went through all of the ropes, and there are several ropes to go through, you know. Yes, man. It had to go to the director of information and complaints first, as who would take the complaint. Then him have to draft a letter to the commissioners, telling the commissioners that they have this complaint and refer the matter to the investigator. Then the commissioners would then write a letter, send it to the investigator, telling them that them referring this matter to them. And by the time the investigator read, bam, him reach a KCC the following day, bright and early, I imagine. And why not? To seize which property Andrew Holness a bill upon. Well, he never find that he was building on any property and he wasn't developing any property. What he found, that a company that Andrew Holness' startup named Estate Bridge, it was doing development, and it was doing the development in Beverly Hills. So then he said, ooh, I wonder if there's someone here. So my dear peeps, them went and them opened up the thing, and they opened up them file and they start to investigate. Reach at the premises the following day, which was the 12th of July, and conduct them inspection like a them in KCC. Anyway, my peeps, you know the ropes. The long and short of it is them claim that them say breach, and the report went to Parliament. As it turned out, Andrew Holness and a shareholder in the company. So I can imagine how Bunting and Golding faced it long down. Yes, because they never catch him. And them try to see how they could have spin it for say how Andrew set up his son and all them rubbish there. But you know, we had 411, we can use our brain. And we point out to the people, them say, we thank them because we didn't even notice that Andrew was actually moving out of the way and allowing his son, Adam, to have a nice little townhouse in them early 1920s. Something that Andrew never get a chance to do at that stage. And him had line up him son and set him up in a life. Of course, when we go out there and we talk them things, them don't want them good things if we talk about Andrew, so then stop chat about it. Yes, man, I say I have to deal with them foolishness when they come with it, you know, man. If you talk things, look how much things are going on in the country, you know, if you tell a lie, whole heap of things are going for them to talk about. But not them, man, them think they're boring. Them have to create them own stories. So that was another blow. So the first blow was that the development was not Andrew Holness's development after all. There was a second blow, because a whole heap of blow then get out of that, you know. Second blow is that the people of Jamaica start to wonder and say, but wait there, how then this a target the man so? People them start to realize now, say, something not right in the IC, right? That's a second blow for them. Them try to make as much as them could with the Adam Holness thing, and that blow upon them too. Because it only shows say Andrew was a good father, damn good father. Try to, set up his son them in a life. Right? And give them a good start. So then have to struggle like how him struggle. And so them have to turn away. So then the three blow, they lick them. Boom, boom, boom. So we lick them with it, man. Then now, same day when the report go in a parliament and table, another big blow. News come that Greenlee is free. And because people remember how them that go on the most about the case, is another egg that pan in face. So how much blow that? 4 big blow then get, Alright. So, Mayor Swaby from down at KCC, when him hear about the report and the building permit and the breaches, him come out and make a grand announcement. He want the city engineer to give him a report. So the city engineer, it turns out, never had to go far to give him the report because him they got the premises already from October 31 when the developer called him to come do an inspection, right, on the construction. So him could have given me a report. And in the report, where them talking about the breaches, another big blow, this time to the IC and by extension to the Englishman and his sidekick, Peter Bunting. Because it turns out that them claims a 4-bedroom, which would then mean to say that them have more habitable rooms than them supposed to have, and a big problem that. Big problem. When the KCC went, them said a 2-bedroom. Yes, them find 2 additional bathroom, but then said, you can go in if you want to and put in an as-built application and make we look on it. Chances are them are going to pass it. Because it's nothing, it's a deviation from the plan, but everything was internal and just shift things around and add something here and add something there. But the floor dimension is still the same. And the bedrooms are still the same. It's 2-bedroom. And the habitable rooms are still the same. It's 4. And those are the key when you're looking at these things. So how much blows we gone already? A 4 or 5? We gone 5 blow now? And then the Christmas just not look nice at all. No, the Englishman Christmas not look good. Lord have mercy. Did you hear him sing? He must sing, man. I don't know how much frog did in a film throat when he must sing. Oh, holy night. The stars are brightly shining. This is the night of our dear Saviour's birth. He man a Christian, you know. But he matter about for him, dear Saviour's birth. You ever see them people? Well, them with that duffy power? Yes, sir? And just before that, on the 6th of December, the court ruled that Andrew Holness can go ahead and have his day in court in terms of the judicial review into the IC report to the Parliament. You say, my peeps, how me could have forget the one there? Lord of his mercy, another big blow. And that ruling came on the 6th. Yes, it was the first one and get for the month. Poops, pops, beeps, pops. Appear them, they lick them again, you know, my peeps. And then what happened again? Friday, we got news again that Paula Llewellyn can stay as DPP. Something that Mark Golding and Peter Bunting did not want. And we would like to know why. Because this DPP, you know, remember, me peeps, I was reminded last night, and so let me remind you. You remember one man named Dudus? Christopher Coke? You remember who him be? And dangerous man that, you know. Him not dangerous, him dangerous. Man a run Tivoli. Dan, son of Jim Brown. And you remember, so when the extradition come, you remember who was the DPP at the time when the extradition came in, when was it, 2010? She same one, the same Paula. As she did handle extradition, the American government can't come and carry no case go court. No, when the extradition come, it goes to, first of all, to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and from there it goes to the DPP, if my memory serves me right. And it is she who must initiate the matter before the court in order to get persons extradited. You know, she says she's not afraid of nobody. And after all of that, well, she never had to go through the final process because Master Dudus, they give up himself and say him a waive all of that. Kind of want to go no jail. Afraid the man, them do him like what them do him daddy. Right? So we were all spared that. The marshals came for him, took him a foreign, and get him there in court, and him sentenced to 23 years. He must say, look, we come out soon. Right? And you know, hear nobody at Tivoli, a threaten Paula. And I talk about say she go on. Uno did hear that? Me not remember hear that. So when them a come go on like say this woman is biased and she's there to protect Labour Party people and all them things, where that come from? Do this never Labour? Are the PMP? Me peeps, come here. Uno come here. Come little closer, man. Come, make we talk. We not talk too loud, right? Cause we not able for the Labour right them. We not talk loud. But let me ask you a question. Was Dudus, Mas Dudus, he was a PNP? You didn't know some of the PNP? What you say? Him a Labour right? You sure? Then how the risers them have it fair talk say Paula I look for get off Royal Reid and the other Labour right them, and that is why Andrew want her to stay there to help him get off Royal Reid. What she look for get off Royal Reid for when she never look for get off Dudus? You know how much damage Dudus could have do to Labour Party? And she never look for get off Dudus. A Royal Reid she go get off? No, talk through me peeps. Them make any sense? So therefore, when Mark Golding is out there attack Paula Llewellyn that she must, you see, he might attack her personally, you know. Paul will them go about the law. He must attacking her personally. Him and the one Bunting. Is why them not want the woman in a position. They must have a reason. A woman will do her work and she not afraid of nobody. Guys, she not afraid of to do so, who she afraid of? Talk truth, my peeps. You remember one big riser named Karen Spencer? Yes, man, him a big riser now. And now the Paula they prosecute him too. And they have one other big riser named Richard Azan. And the Paula prosecute him too, you know. The two cases them come to naught, but a Paula did prosecute them. You think is that to motivate them, my peeps? You think that the problem they have with Paula? How dare she to go prosecute them rise friends? Strong black woman. Them not like strong black women either, my dear peeps. Make them feel small. Show up them inadequacies and them intellectual deficiencies. And then the kind of man they not like strong black woman at all. Not good for them ego. Anyway, my peeps, I think we're going to leave it here. I'm going to come back and I talk some more about some other things. Not sure which one yet, but anyway, like we leave it there. Anyway, my peeps, as you celebrate the festive season, spare a thought for that Englishman. Him Christmas not going very well at all. No look good. But then again, you see, my peeps, I wonder if this is the beginning of the end. So sadness and bad luck will reach them. I wonder if more bad luck will reach them for the new year. What do you think? Well, time will tell. All right, so that's it for me today. Thank you so much for joining me, for sharing, liking, subscribing, as well as leaving your comments in the comments section. So until next time, take good care of yourselves and walk good.